Hi guys, this will be a video for Group 5. Group 5 consists of 6 students. It is Morgan, Brandon, Will, Taven, Zoe, and Nolan. Right? So, nice sign, right? Hey. So look for this sign for your bin. All right, so I wanted to kind of walk you guys through why you received a 16 out of 20 on your schematic. I will say you got a +5 for your end goal. I think it's extremely creative, but I want you to be careful because pressing down a toaster lever requires a lot of force and a lot of precision, which we don't really think about, but if you are having random objects come down, you want to make sure that that's very precise force. So that might be kind of difficult, so just take that into consideration. My advice is to not have something come falling on the toaster instead of have something roll on the toaster so that it slowly presses it down, because if you just like, it doesn't work that way. So anyway, some of the reasons why you guys got some points off was that, well, one, I was able to follow this for the most part, but it looked like we were missing a lot of simple machines from steps. And I think you were trying to list them all over here, but there was no like number to go along with the steps, so I didn't know what went where. So it was a little bit confusing to follow in that regard. Had you added it in here, the simple machines with every single step, that would have been better. But or if you put like a key here, so like this was the simple machine for step 1, and this was for step 2, and this was for step 3 or whatever, okay? So that's why you lost a few points. And then in addition, if we look at steps 5, 6, and 7. So for instance, step 5 says lever comes up and hits the dominoes, okay? 6 says dominoes knock over each other, okay? 7 says dominoes hit ball. So I'm seeing a lot of just like dominoes, all right? So you could almost consider that to be one step or like 2 steps. You don't need to separate it into 3 separate steps. So you could say lever comes up and hits the dominoes, 1 step. And then another step would be dominoes topple and then hit the ball, all right? Because in that case, you're doing dominoes, 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 and that's too many dominoes, okay? So just keep in mind that every single step should be a new simple machine or a new object as a simple machine, every single step. So like I said, 5, 6, and 7, they're all focusing on dominoes as levers. So you want to maybe consolidate those into one. I did notice that you have 18 steps, which is good. So you can kind of trim the fat when you're with your schematic and maybe add a few extra words or simple machines in there. Looking at this, we've got inclined plane, lever, wheel and axle. We've got a pulley. So and then there's a screw. So you have a screw. All right, so you have 5 out of 6, so that's fine. I think this is a very adventurous Rube Goldberg, and I feel that if you are able to pull this off, you have a really good chance here. So I really like the schematic. You really need to clean things up. Make sure that when you put together your poster, which you will have to draw this again, that your poster is much neater and it's easier for me to read. In fact, I would almost recommend that we type up the steps or something along those lines and tape them to your poster, something along those lines, okay? So if you guys have any questions, feel free to shoot me a text on Remind. I do have my phone all day today. I will be more than happy to answer any of the questions that you may have regarding your project or in the project in general. Mrs. Andrews is also next door, so if you really have a question and I'm not able to get to you, you could potentially ask her. I don't really want you guys to bother her if you can help it. So just make sure when you guys are all done, you clean up after yourselves, everything's broken down and put away. If anything you brought from home has been taken there, make sure you put it back in your bins. And yeah, I think that's it. Get to work.